Hello, this is Pastor Gene Kim. It's been quite a long time since I've given an update. I know a lot of people have started to know about my travels, and they're probably wondering what's been going on with me and how the Lord's been using the travels. Well, the Lord's been mightily using it, and I've been enjoying myself. I've been doing about 40 meetings a year. And each year could be somewhere between 3 to 5 countries out of states that I travel. The reason why I do it, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering why I'm doing this, because I am a pastor of a local church. Well, one, that never changed me, all right? So my local church is my number one priority of the ministry that I focus upon. I don't skip more than one Sunday and one Wednesday every month, okay? So I don't do more than that. Now, some people might wonder, well, how are you able to travel this much and only miss out one Sunday, one Wednesday? Well, that's the reason why. If you look at my preaching itinerary page, the dates of the meetings, the pastors and churches, unfortunately, have to be flexible with the dates that fit me. And not only that, because I've been used to nearly 20 years of my life managing busyness in my schedule, I've gotten pretty good at that one, organizing schedule. So the Lord gives everyone different gifts and callings, but that's just one of the things the Lord has given to me. He confirmed to me every time I travel that I gotta travel more. The reason why is it's kind of hard to explain to you. But the best way I could say it is you've got to be there and you've got to see how our church is doing, my particular church as well. And that's the only best way I can explain it. Now, only my family would understand that because they've been with me and they've witnessed it themselves. They see how I pastor my church. They see how I take care of my family. They also see how the Lord's been blessing the fruits in my own local church and those churches that I travel to, the people that I bless there. I've learned so much. I can see the Lord doing something, which is why I keep doing this. In return, it blesses my own local church, and not just those people that I travel and minister to, but my own local church. So it's just been a huge blessing to me. The Lord opened my eyes on so many things. I constantly improve my preaching, teaching, my pastoring, even my pastoring when I go to those places. I have learned so much. I am a strong, firm believer, and you probably noticed it recently, about not just being local-minded, but global-minded. I really believe it will do a lot of good for Bible believers to get out of their comfort zone and their local area and to go outside and minister to souls out there and seeing other Bible-believing churches. That will help them immensely change their perspective. But not only that, it will also help them to get out of their machinery, especially if you live in America, and to start thinking about souls, about others. That's the key that I'm trying to get at. Others. I think that's what we've lost. We've lost our focus on others. We start to think more of ourselves when we're in our comfort zone. And even sometimes it can happen when we're in our local church, we're stuck in our local mind. And that's not a good thing. The Lord Jesus Christ called us to go out and minister to the body of Christ. And that's universal. That's global. We have to understand that. Now, this does not dismiss the importance of a local church. As you all know, I hammer that. People who watch me online, if they're in an online mentality, they don't like that about me. And me, I don't care. That's still a good thing. I believe you should attend a local Bible-believing church because you don't want to get stuck on yourself, especially in a virtual world. That's a very bad place to be in. But I also think that we can be guilty where our scope is still limited, where we might have just a local mindset. We've got to think about others out there. And when you do that, it will affect and influence your local area as well in a good way. So the Lord made me see many things. I saw many things. It was a big blessing. So for some of you who are wondering about that, so I've been to countries so far, like England. I went to there twice, Philippines twice, Korea thrice. I went to Sicily, Italy, Switzerland. Malawi, Africa has been quite an amazing thing. And Sydney and Melbourne in Australia. And there are probably other places that I went to out of states that I don't keep in mind. The Navajo Reservation, I went there multiple times. That's been a huge blessing. I was able to preach to the Native and Eskimos in Alaska as well. The Mormon territories, that's been a huge blessing. Independence City. And then also I'm going to Utah. So if any of you are listening to this, I'm going to be preaching this weekend at Cedar City, Utah. The pastor's name is Tyler Decker. If you were to type his name, Pastor Tyler Decker, 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 and Cedar City, Utah, you should be able to find his church. But if you go to my preaching itinerary page, it should have all the information. So if any of you are wondering about where I'm going in my travels or where I'm preaching at, all you have to do is go to my preaching itinerary page. And again, that's in realbiblebelievers.com. If you go over there, you'll see a resources tab. Just click on that resources tab and you'll see preaching itinerary there. Click on preaching itinerary and you'll see it. Some people, they knew about that, but they think that that page gets expired because I already preached in a lot of those places and then they get deleted. But no, that's not the case. You want to keep tabs on that preaching itinerary page because I keep putting new things in there as well. So you'll see old things deleted, but you'll also see new things added. So I want to encourage people who want to know about where I'm preaching at, and then Bible believers who are attending Bible-believing churches who want to see me preach in their areas, to keep an eye on that preaching itinerary page. If you're part of Real Bible Believers Connect, then that'll be important to keep tabs on that one too if you want to see me preach at your places. That's one of the reasons why I traveled, is because I want to minister to you people. I know that you people want to meet me, see me, and that's why I did traveling, to reach out to you guys. Another reason why I do traveling is to be a blessing to those Bible-believing pastors and churches. To be honest, that's more of the main reason. I want to be a blessing to them. It's been encouraging to see those pastors telling me about new people coming to their churches. It's encouraging about those pastors telling me that new people have been coming to their churches. Some of them have even participated in Bible-believing institutes. Some of them have even graduated. And some of them, joy to my soul, have become Bible-believing pastors themselves. So it's been very encouraging to me. And that's the reason why I keep doing this. I can see that the Lord's using it, and I'm going to keep doing it no matter what. But if the Lord closes the door, I wouldn't hesitate to have the door closed. I'm not going to force it open. It's very possible. I strongly believe this is not going to last forever. My travels could slow down, or my travels could stop, temporary or permanently. But that's the reason why I do as much as I can, because I believe when God opens the door, you should do it as much as you can. Now, obviously not an unwise way, where you sacrifice your family, your health, and your church. But I believe the Lord swung it wide open where I should do this much. So I am doing this much. I'm going to keep doing it. If he tells me to slow it down, I won't hesitate to slow it down. I'm going to slow it down. And it won't last forever. This is why I'm doing as much as I can for the Lord. It's been a blessing in my travels. Like I said, I've seen so many things, and I was able to preach for these other Bible-believing preachers who I want to recommend to all of you, all right? I want to recommend to all of you to listen to their preaching, buy their materials. I mean, they just got incredible wisdom. They've been a blessing, and it's just been a privilege for me to go to their churches and preach for them. I was able to preach for Dr. Vince Massa. That has been a huge honor and a huge blessing. That man has so much wisdom. I was able to work in his office with him while he's doing his pastoral work. That's been a huge blessing. I was able to preach several times at Pastor Alan Ryman's annual meeting. I'll be preaching there again. It's been an honor for me to preach with the old-timers over there, and for him, wild guy, fun preacher. The Navajo Reservation has been a huge blessing to me, and I got the privilege to preach for Pastor Wilson Calvin when he's starting a new church. And that's been a huge blessing in a small little trailer when he's starting a new church. And already he grew it out and he already built a new building. So it's been a blessing for me to see how he's starting a new church, see how he's doing it, and see how the Lord's been using him. I have so much respect for that preacher as well. Lord willing, I'll be preaching for their camp meeting at June, so I'm hoping that would be the case. I'm talking to Dr. Gary Yazzie about that, and I'm just trying to cram that in my schedule if the Lord will work it out, but that's according to his will. It's been a blessing for me to preach for Dr. Nico Verhoff in Switzerland. Very brilliant man. Got to see where John Huss was burnt and was condemned. Got to do street preaching at John Huss's area where he was condemned, and got to sing hymns. That was a huge blessing. And to preach for him, very intelligent man. And speaking of intelligence, preaching alongside Dr. Kyle Stevens and Dr. David Walker in a dispensationalism conference has been a huge blessing. Now, some of you probably don't know that, and I want to urge you. I mean, there was so much wisdom there. Go to sermon audio. The pastor's name is Pastor Aaron Hunter. The name of his church is Bible Believers Baptist Church. And then you'll see a playlist there, Dispensationalism or Dispensationalism Conference. Click on that, and then you'll see me, Dr. Walker, Dr. Stevens preaching there. But I've also preached for Dr. Walker's church. He's a very dear, close friend to me, and Dr. Kyle Stevens. These two I consider to be very close to me, or at least to me. I consider them very close. I consider them respectable scholars, my peer reviewers, and it's a blessing to do the same for them. I give them certain secrets that I don't give to other people about scholarly work, and it's been a blessing and a joy to me. And when they do the same to me, and they give me their notes, it's just a blessing. So these are the two that I do scholarly stuff with back and forth, and I consider them very close friends. But it's been a blessing preaching for Dr. Walker. I preached for him, I think, about 3 times before. And then Dr. Stevens, it'll be a joy to meet his people and his church. I heard that a lot of people came to his church. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I think he said that about 1 out of every 2 or 3 visitors that goes to his church came because of our internet ministry, and that's been a huge blessing. So I owe to him, so I am obligated. So I look forward to preach at his church real soon. I'm going to be preaching for Pastor Dennis Knowles real soon, so that'll be a big blessing. I urge people to listen to him as well. Lots of good stuff. It's been long and waiting. I know that he and I talked about it. He asked me about it before I was even famous on the internet. He asked me a long time ago, and it just never happened. The Lord never opened the door, but now there is, so I look forward to it. His church, believe it or not, his people, was the first Q&A that I did. It wasn't in Philippines, it wasn't in Pastor Gunther's church, and it wasn't in other places. It wasn't in England, Germany, or Australia. It was in Pastor Knowles' home. I remember that. So that was the first Q&A I ever did. It's been a long time, so I look forward to preaching for his church. I hope to be a blessing to him and his people. And then Pastor Bevans Welder, a wealth of knowledge, really pastor's pastor. He has his own pastor's conference going on that carries on with what Pastor Rick DeMichael and Pastor Rick Sowell have done. So Pastor Bevans Welder is definitely well qualified to keep that thing going. So preaching for him will be a big blessing in Texas. And then speaking for Texas, a huge blessing for me was preaching at the church that Dr. Louis Entzminger himself has founded. But there was a good number of people there who heard and met Dr. Ruckman, because that's where Dr. Ruckman used to preach. He actually painted the baptismal over there in that church. And then for me to preach at that place where Dr. Ruckman preached at, where he painted, oh my goodness, that's been one of the biggest blessings to me. But what really touched my heart was I was surprised at a huge number of people there who ended up in that church because of our internet ministry. So Pastor Bez Cummings has been a huge blessing to me and his people. Actually, what is very surprising, just not to get into too much personal details, but what's been surprising to me is how Pastor Bez Cummings' forte and interest and research and theological studies aligned with mine, which is very, very interesting. So he went through the same studies that I did, actually. So that's been a lot of fun, and that's been a huge interest. Now, this is not to say, I just want to make this very clear. I want to make it very clear that all the pastors and all the churches I preached and have done, they all have differences, okay? So I want to make that very, very clear. So we all have our differences. They all run their ministries differently. And I'm pretty sure those pastors would be happy for me to give that disclaimer as well. So I am my own man. I am my own ministry. But it is a joy to me how I can see how Bible-believing truth and influence is spreading out. And the Lord has used me in some way to be a blessing to these people. And yes, those people and churches have been a blessing to me in return. Well, that's just the update on my travels. I know that there have been people who've been longing to see updates from me. So I hope that this update has been a blessing. Hopefully there will be more to come. May you be blessed by the Lord's work on what he's doing here in these last days. He's still doing great things, which is a blessing in spite of the apostasy. And hopefully I can mention some more preacher names that the Lord has used that I was able to encounter in my life who have influenced me, and more updates on my local church and my travels. The local church, my church, I'm sure you would love to hear. So hopefully one day I'll give more updates on that one. But the Lord has been using us, and man, I'm just very thankful to God. I'll keep pressing on, all right? Y'all pray for me. I'll keep doing the best I can to minister to all of you.